permanently.
He's not going to be here.
Okay. So if he was, I'll just wait a minute. If he's not. Okay. Would you call the roll, please?
Robert Kraus, Jason Blair,
Here.
Kathy McMillan,
Here.
Terry Cabner,
Here.
David Roberts,
Here.
Janie Milam,
Here.
Glenn Lewis.
Here. Would you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Item 2 is the consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting held January the 3rd, 2012. Item B is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for 2011-2012 in the amount of $1,280,527.78.
Move to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion on these? Everybody get their claims questions answered? Any notes or changes to the minutes? If not, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Cabner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Milam,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item is passed. Item number 3 is consider approval of ordinance number 71212, determining the work has been completed in accordance with the petition for street improvements for the estates of Windermere subdivision, determining that the work has been completed in accordance with the plans, the profiles, the specifications, and the contract, approving and adopting the final statement of cost, approving and adopting the assessment roll and assessment for the estates of Windermere Street Improvement District, establishing the times and terms of paying the assessment or an installment on the assessment, setting a rate of interest, setting a date of commencement of interest accrual, establish a lien permitting recovery costs for the collection of delinquent installments and providing for severability thereof.
Mayor and council, this agenda item represents the final step in the Estates of Windermere Street Improvement Project. It sets up the repayment plan for the financing that you have there in front of you. Mr. Corbett has come up with 3 very simple payment plans. The first is to just pay off the share, each homeowner's share, without interest, and the other 2 options are a 5-year and a 10-year option for repayment. And staff would ask the council to approve this agenda item, and I can answer any questions if you have any.
Anybody?
The project is complete out there and has made a significant, tremendous improvement in that area out there. And it's, I think, really benefited the
Well,
neighborhood out there.
as a homeowner in that addition, I can tell you, I had some very grievous thoughts going into this, having an established home and then having the roads tore up for any period of time, and the inconvenience that would cause me and my family as well as my neighbors. And I wish Kevin or Steve was here to just relay to them what a great job they did. Basically, we did not have to spend more than a few hours out of our homes, making them inaccessible. And by a few hours, I mean no more than 4 hours, just letting the asphalt cool, basically, into where we could drive on it. And I just commend the city staff that worked on that. And Steve and Kevin did an excellent job.
Okay, thanks. Do we have a motion?
Move approval.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on this? I'm glad they did a good job for
Oh,
you.
they did an excellent job. Excellent.
Good. We have a motion and a second. If there's no other discussion, would you call the vote, please?
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 4 is consider authorizing staff to negotiate a contract with Johnson & Associates for design of Geobond Street Project number 5 from Northeast 5th to Northeast 18th Street on Broadway Avenue.
Mayor, we're just asking your approval to negotiate a contract with Johnson Associates. This firm has done one of the other bond issue projects for us, and we've been impressed with their work. This project, as it says here, is the project number 5 of the 5 projects that were approved by our voters back in 2008. This is reconstruction of Broadway from 5th to 18th out here with some streetscape and new sidewalks and, of course, a completely new street over there. So we will be issuing the bonds for this construction later on this year sometime, but we want to get started on getting the engineering underway.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second. Thank you. Thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote if there's no other discussion?
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. This time, item number 5 is consider approval of ordinance number 71312, repealing ordinance number 65809 pertaining to the regulation of political signs.
Mayor, I put this on the agenda to visit with you all some about the timing of it with regard to the election is coincidental for the most part. But you may recall a couple of years ago or so, we passed a new ordinance regulating political signs. We had a size limit, I believe, of 9 square feet and indicating where these political signs could go and couldn't go. And just to be very honest with you, it was overwhelming with trying to enforce this through the last election cycle. I'm talking about the state races and all that were held a year or so ago. We had a lot of difficulty with this. I got several phone calls from upset candidates and upset citizens and all kinds of folks. The issue was really with where is the right-of-way line, where can we put them, where can we not put them. So-and-so's got one here, why can't I have one? And then so-and-so calls in and indicates that the city took my sign, and there was just a lot of problems with this, frankly. If we want to look at regulating political signs in the future, my best judgment at this point is to either not do it at all and or don't allow them at all, period, anywhere, which would be rather difficult to enforce as well, frankly. We also had troubles, of course, in a lot of the presidential, the governor's election, a lot of those kind of elections, signs just appear and no one knows where they came from, who did it, anything else, and there might be 1,000 signs appear overnight, 2 or 3 days or a week before the election. We spent a lot of our time chasing down signs, determining whether to take this sign or that sign down. We took some signs down, got a few hot phone calls, and it just was not a good way to go about it. Now, I don't have a better way to tell you today necessarily. It's just a problem everywhere. Or maybe it's not a problem depending on your perspective, but it it's an issue.
Yeah, it's pretty much a universal problem.
And so I think at this point, particularly with the election coming up, I think we should just start over fresh with this. If we want to look at something later on, then we can.
Okay. Anybody want to table it?
Are you asking us, or
Is
actually
that what you want us to do?
No,
table or
no,
just
no,
What do you
appeal the
wanna do?
whole?
I'm sorry.
I missed the point, I'm sorry.
Approve this ordinance, which will repeal the previous ordinance, repeal the regulations that we currently have on the book for political signs.
I'll make the motion we approve the
Okay.
ordinance.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you, thank you.
Make sure everybody's clear, which will repeal the existing
So we won't
regulations.
have an ordinance basically
won't
at that
have-
time? Okay, at the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this will be fun.
It already is fun, believe me.
Well, you know, last
Won't see
time,
any difference.
none of us had signs anyway. It was our state
The
people.
local race, very frankly, is not our issue. The issue always is the state elections, the federal elections, where again, signs, thousands of signs just appear.
Sure. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please, if there's no other discussion?
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner, Yes. Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. We have an addendum on the agenda, 5.1, and this was signed 13th January, 11:30. Okay. Consider declaring an emergency pursuant to 7-206 of the Moore Municipal Code and authorize the purchase of 5 pumps and necessary apparatuses in the amount of $155,762 to repair the existing Headworks lift station at the wastewater treatment plant using funding source Clean Water SRF project number ORF 08-0002-CW and authorize staff to negotiate a contract to install said equipment with Wind Construction Company and/or other qualified contractors.
Mayor, I think that I made you all aware on one of the emails a week or two ago about what I termed, I think, as a catastrophic failure of this lift station out there, and it was a catastrophic failure. This is the lift station that handles the entire amount of flow that comes into the treatment plant and then sends it over to where it needs to go through the treatment process. This is part of the old system that, old pumps and motors and all that sort of thing. But in the new system and the new plant, Satish is our engineer, if there's any questions later on, but as a part of the new process, this system was still going to be used. But since we've had this failure, we decided we should go ahead and just replace the pumps and the motors and all that sort of thing with new. While we're at it, we think we could probably negotiate a good price with Wind since it's already out there. This is about 10 to 12 weeks off in terms of delivery of these pumps. In the meanwhile, we've got, Robert, 2 or 3 big-inch pumps going out there now, and we're spending several $100s a day or more in diesel keeping these things going. It's a pretty big mess out there, so we need to proceed with this. It's going to take several weeks to get the pumps in, but we need to get them ordered and get it repaired as soon as possible.
And these pumps will be used in the new plant,
They
right?
will be used in the new operation, and it'll be actually a new submersible pumps rather than non-submersible pumps. I don't know what the other word is, but, and new pumps, but using the existing housing and all that's there currently.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'd make a motion that we approve this expenditure.
Thank you. Do we have a
Second.
second? Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner, Yes. David Roberts,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Rainey, do we need to have a vote for the emergency part?
No, by voting and approving it.
As an emergency?
Under that one section referenced agenda item of the
Okay.
emergency's been declared.
All right, thank you. At this time, we'll recess the city council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. Item number 6 is a consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Public Works Authority meeting held January 3rd, 2012. Item B is approve and ratify the claims and expenditures for FY 2011-2012 in the amount of $138,996.38.
Move to approve?
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this, on these two items? Everybody get their claims questions answered, or any notes or changes to the minutes? If not, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene the Moore Risk Management meeting. Item number 7 is a consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Risk Management meeting held January 3rd, 2011. Item B is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2011-2012 in the amount of $235,050.39. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
All right, thank you.
Second?
Thank you. Thank you both. Everybody get your claims questions answered on these items? If so, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the Moore Risk Management meeting and convene the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting. Dave?
Would the clerk call the roll, please?
Glenn Lewis,
Here.
Terry Kavner,
Here.
Janie Mylum,
Here.
Jason Blair,
Here.
Kathy McMillan,
Here.
David Roberts.
Here. At this time, item number 9, the consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Economic Development Authority meeting held December the 19th of 2011.
Move to approve?
Second.
Would you call the roll, please?
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis,
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes. This time we will have the director's report.
Thank you, Chairman Roberts. I have it all written down, but I can't say any of it. So if you all have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Oh, no, we can talk about a few things. Again, just a lot of activity and a lot of tire kicking. And of course, the new year brings New Year's resolutions for a lot of people. So a lot of folks that have thought they've always wanted to be in business, and my goodness, wouldn't more be the place? And we think so, yes, absolutely. But they take a little more time than some of the national groups that come in already ramped up and ready to go. So anyway, it's been exciting to talk to some entrepreneurs and some new potential franchise owners and whatnot. But again, I just can't say enough about the attitude of pro-business and growth that we have here. And I'm sure that you all feel it, but if you're ever out in other communities, it's very different. And again, we are very much admired for the growth and the pace in which we are moving. We did have a great month last month with sales tax numbers that you all did see. Again, in my opinion, anything that's in a positive number is good and positive. That doesn't actually include all of the holiday shopping. So we still, I think, should have a pretty exciting next month results on sales tax. And again, lots of brokers calling in, and of course, excitement breeds excitement, and activity breeds activity, and so just a lot of people making phone calls and wanting to know kind of what's the next step and what's going on. I did just want to remind everybody too that as far as types of restaurants, we get asked a lot of times, boy, I sure wish we could have an XYZ and a ABC, and I do too, I really do. And we do target some specific concepts. I will absolutely tell you that. We do go very deliberately after the Targets of the world and large sporting goods stores that are new to the area and are looking for a home. We certainly want to make sure that they know that we want them here, and we will do everything in our power and our effort to make sure that we get our word to them that this is where they need to be. But when it comes to some of the ancillary concepts that come in, I do not make a habit of recruiting fast food. And I think Chick-fil-A would be the exception that I would tell you as far as a fast casual concept that we did go after. And this is just simply providing them with marketing information and making phone calls. No incentives are ever offered to concepts like that. But they come where the activity is, they come where the markets are growing. And so as long as we're seeing growth and as long as we're sustaining that growth and seeing income growth as well, we'll see all types of concepts coming in. And then once they're here and once they're convinced that more is the place, and that's my job, is to tell them this is the place, more. And I tell them the city limit. After that, then it's up to them to figure out where they need to be for their concept to make it work. And so then that's all just a private transaction that happens between that property owner and that concept owner or the franchisee or whomever is making that purchase on their behalf, the developer. So I just wanted to make sure that people know that we do hear you, and I wish it was as easy as, hearing your wish list and going out and checking those things off. And we do follow up on every lead, and sometimes they will listen to me, and sometimes they're very gracious. And I will tell you, the Meat House is a fun new concept that Edmond has in their city limits, and I cannot tell you how gracious they were to talk to on the phone. Now, they may or may not have an interest in this area. We don't know that, but they were certainly welcome and willing to hear what I had to say and tell them. They're not always like that. They don't always call me back, and I never get to speak to a lot of these folks. But anyway, it's not for the lack of trying. We do try to get in those concepts that we know might take a little more effort, and we're doing the very best we can. But with that, we love all retail and we love all restaurants, and they all, again, generate retail sales tax for us. And so if you're not excited about eating there, hopefully everybody else is, and maybe some people from outside our community are coming here to eat in those restaurants, and that's even sweeter, the outside dollar. So anyway, just wanted to kind of lay that all out for everybody. Currently working is an Italian restaurant, an independently owned pizza pasta shop, a national pizza chain. It's kind of pizza-esque, I guess, is the theme right now. Family-style restaurant, a sports bar and grill, a large sporting goods store, furniture, home furnishings, and then several fast casual restaurants are all in the pipeline and just very close to being announceable, and ones that we can tell you would be coming soon. And they may pop some signs out here before too long. Holly's Flatiron Steakhouse, which we're really excited about, will open February the 6th. I believe that's correct, February the 6th. Just keep checking their Facebook page, and they will keep you posted on that. The world's largest IMAX screen happens to be in Moore, Oklahoma, and that is going to open in late February. And so we will again get the date out to you all just as soon as we are completely sure and solid on that date. Can't say enough about that opening and how miraculous and spectacular that's going to be. A new tea room, Tealicious Tea Room and Restaurant next to Showplace Market, transforming an industrial space into restaurant and retail, which says a whole lot about us, and I think that's pretty awesome. And again, we love industry and we love primary job creation, and I would hope you all would agree that the biggest announcement that really Oklahoma has seen in a long time happened just up here to our north, a little bit to the east on 59th and Air Depot with the Boeing announcement. Huge. That will be a huge amount of people coming here. There will be lots and lots of relocation. There'll also be lots of hiring from our citizenry and from the local area. But again, a lot of relocation, and that just doesn't always happen that way. So that is monumental, and I hope that we take full advantage of that. I feel like we are, and I feel like our school district's ready, and I think our home builders are ready, and I'm ready, so I think we're ready. It feels right, it feels good. But couldn't be a bigger announcement, I think, for us and for this area. So we're kudos to Oklahoma City. And again, just to talk about the fun things that are happening here, I probably spend 20% or less of my time working on those types of things, because you can't really work those. You can do as much as you can, but they'll all fall into place. But what I do spend a lot of my time on is promoting the area on behalf of MORE for the Oklahoma City metro area, for the state of Oklahoma, and making sure that we have quality health care, quality education, workforce, and make sure that we have the trained and skilled employees that are going to be filling these jobs when Boeing comes in looking for trained engineers. So it's not sexy and it's not terribly exciting to talk about those things, but those things matter a lot. And so it won't always have announcements and openings to talk about. I'm glad that we do have all of those things. But on the flip side, I do think we are very well represented in true economic development, and I think we fit a wonderful need and niche in providing a great labor force and a great quality of life and place to live for these folks. I think that is about all, and I will answer any questions if anyone has any.
I detected a large smile on Kathy's face when you talked about that relocation deal.
These realtors are just so bad. Good.
At this time, we will recess the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting and reconvene the city council meeting.
All right, thank you. Let the record show that all the members are still present, that were present before. Item number 11 is new business citizens forum for items not on the agenda. There's no one signed up. Would anyone like to speak? Okay. Item B is any items from the city council or trustees? Everybody's quiet tonight.
It has been quiet.
I know. Item C is items from the city manager, trust manager.
Couple of brief things, Mayor. One is that we are receiving bids on Thursday for the new public safety center, so later this week, we should have a feel for how that's going to look in terms of the costs and where we're at on that. But a lot of flurry of activity in the world out there among the bidders, and Stan talked to Jerry Meek today, and Jerry was of the belief that we were going to have a lot of bidders, which is good news. So we're happy about that. The other thing is that we typically will have the previous month's financial statement to you all at this meeting, but Cheryl McConnell, who does that for Jim, has been out a little bit ill of late, and she's back in, so hopefully we'll have that to you by the end of the week. But we just don't have it for you this evening. Other than that, that's all I have, Mayor.
Wow. Okay. I think this may set a record. Item 12 is adjournment.
So moved.
All right, thank you.
Second?
Thank you both. Call for the vote, please.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. We are adjourned. Thank you for coming.